Welcome back. In the previous session, you had discussed a variety of ways to deal with the noisy goats. And in doing so, ended up kind of being conscripted into ferrying product from Hellchell to Glam as a bit of a favor for sticking around there, since you were on your way anyways. As you were leaving Hellchell, you came across, or rather, a few things came across your path in the form of giant moose, which you narrowly and deftly avoided massive amounts of collateral damage in a brilliant display.
Never wearing that shirt again.
You're welcome.
Picus is scary when she needs to be. Since it was a little later in the day when you had left, you didn't get too far on the road, but it's not that long of a journey to get to Glam. Maybe a couple days, and you're about maybe a little between a quarter and a third of the way there. You found a nice little roadside clearing to nuzzle down and make camp. So you enjoyed a bit of a road trip nap. You are greeted by the sunrise and cold winds of Jotunheim in the morning. After the fire subsides a little bit and you're able to have some breakfasts, is there anything that any of you wanted to do before heading back on the road?
Barrick is definitely going to take a good stretch before picking the cart back up, because last time it didn't go so well, so he's going to try to really
Get nice and limber.
Yeah.
Sure. Barrick's doing some calisthenics.
Needs to chase.
Some of the moth cats are kind of like swirling around at your feet. One of them is just perched on top of your head.
Of course it is.
Yeah. They're kind of spread out through the rest of you in camp as you're getting ready for the morning, putting things away. One of them's trying to like paw at the dish of one of the plates just to get a little scrap of whatever remnants might be there.
I think we should not lollygag and let's get this show back on the road.
Agreed. As
Okay.
I'm in my nest on the sleigh.
You're back on the back on the sled.
You've been there the whole night.
I set up the dome. Well, if the sleigh would fit in the dome, I literally would just set it up around that. If not, that's possible
What
as well.
I want to know is how long.
It would be-
What's the
Part of it.
How long does the dome last?
12 hours, I believe.
Does the dome travel with you, or is it just
No.
static?
It's a fixed.
Okay.
No,
Fixed
I
point.
can't make it come with us.
Okay, I didn't know if you could maybe cast it, have an extra barrier.
I don't know if I
around.
could I cast it on the sleigh? And have it move with the sled?
Good question. Let me check on that. I don't think it does.
Because I'm
I'm
pretty
pretty
sure
sure it
it's
stays.
not.
I'm pretty sure it's just a fixed point, but we'll take a
fun.
moment and I'll see if we can figure that out. In the meantime, as you're getting things packed back up and making your way on the road.
What's the marching order we want to do? Same as last time?
Sure.
I'm obviously taking the lead on this one.
Yep. Strapping yourself to the front edge of the sled, putting the harness on, being flanked by Zaith is up on top of the sled in her little nest. Picus and Amrix, you guys are on either side, and Ikafan, you are sitting on the rear of the sled keeping an eye out from anything that may or may not be following you. So with that, roll a d20 for me, please.
18.
Just the lead. 18?
18.
Good thing I have a lucky D.
Is it everybody roll or just
Just for you.
Okay.
Are we adding anything to it, or just a
No,
straight?
it was just for Bear,
8.
because it was just for him for leading to see how the day is gonna go.
8.
Making sure I don't
Don't
shit
worry,
the
you
bed
get
like
it.
last time.
You get a chance. The morning, you're feeling good. You've stretched. You're feeling a lot more limber. You've become used to the weight that this sled actually has. So you're not struggling as much and not being, your focus isn't being pulled away, and you're able to kind of see about. It's fairly clear as far as the weather is. There's a soft breeze. It's still a bit chilly, but as far as Jotunheim's concerned, it's kind of a nice day. It's a good morning. Around midday, you've been traveling for a couple more hours. I'd say you're getting close to the halfway point, and you see that the road is starting to kind of like bend and turn. You hear kind of off to the right-hand side of the path. Sounds like a muffled commotion.
Do we want to check that out?
You said the right hand side?
Mhm.
I'll holler like, Picus, do you see anything?
Should I make an investigation check or perception check?
Pike's
Well, do you want to? What do you want to do? Like, how do you want to check it out?
Climb a tree.
Okay. So you climb up a tree.
Mhm.
I'll stop moving.
Everybody kind of pauses on the road, gives you a chance to pop up. So go ahead and make a perception check.
25. It was a nat 20.
Damn.
What's your elven eyes see?
Little halfling, getting real tall. As you climb up to the top of the tree, you see maybe 80 to 100 feet kind of off the road. You see the top portion of what looks like almost like an old tower, like an old watchtower of some kind. And I'd say with the natural 20, there's a portion of the top part of it that seems to be like broken a little bit, but has like thatched patching of evergreen branches over the top of it. And you can see the faint amount of like lights and almost like arcane sparks and flashes that emanate from within. And that muffled commotion is a little bit clearer, and it sounds like someone is shouting.
I'm gonna cantrip message down to Zaith to basically say what I see.
You got it?
What?
Hmm?
Oh, okay. Barrick. I mean, stop.
I already stopped.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Am I talking to you? Okay, I just pop out with moth hats aflutter. Do we want to announce ourselves?
I'm gonna start just heading in that direction.
Are you bringing all of the stuff with you?
No.
Okay, just you?
I'm just walking there on my own 2 feet.
Okay.
So we're gonna leave the sled?
No. Somebody stay with the sled.
Do you want to stay with the sled so you can continue working?
Sure.
I think Amrix and Zaith maybe should stay.
Sure.
Two people.
Keep 2 people at the sled
Should stay at the sled.
for safety. Okay.
I am
All right.
Ikafen, you're more than welcome to stay. You're more than welcome to join. And I'm gonna just take off in a steady trot.
If we're staying at the sled for safety, I have no problem staying at the sled for safety.
More for the sled safety, but whichever. Yeah, I'm gonna take off in the direction that Picus came. Went towards.
All right.
I'm still in the tree.
Sticking up in the tree. Do you make your way as far as Picus, or do you go all the way to the tower?
All the way.
When you get to the clearing where this tower sits, it looks old. It looks like it's been here. It was built as like an outpost at some point, and has very clearly been inhabited by someone who. There's a lot of like spiky fence, and like some brambles. As you get up to the door, you see there's like these massive iron bands that are just like tacked across some very like roughly hewn wood. But you can hear very clearly a voice, this very God damn fucking just get out of here! No! I told you. And you hear like sparks and flashes, and a bit of a clatter.
I'm gonna hold back from booting the door in. How tall is this thing? Like from me to the top where this person is.
For the entire tower, it's probably about 100 feet or so.
All right. I'm going to pull out my yaller horn.
Okay.
And give it a good victory toot toot. Just to try to get this guy's attention, and then be like, "Hello! Do you happen to be in any form of danger?"
After a moment, you hear some more clattering as the door. You can hear like several locks just. And a small portion of it pops open.
Okay.
And you see this giant's face, big old like wild beard. His eyes are kind of like sunken. He's very wrinkled. He's an older, like hunched looking dude. And he's just like, "What are you doing here? How'd you find me?
I mean,
What are you looking for? What's your name? What's your business?"
Well,
"I'm not buying anything."
I'm not selling anything.
"Great.
You were yelling.
So?
We were walking by. You were yelling loud enough for us to hear you from...
Who's we? You?
So,
How many of there are you?
Somewhere between 1 and 4.
Make a persuasion check.
5. Alright. I'm gonna just like turn and start to walk away and just be like, "I was just trying to help you, cheeky old get." Walk away.
Make a dexterity save.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, yay. 18.
My favorite.
Ooh.
Yes.
As you're walking back, right next to the step that you take, an entire like net trap just springs up and out of the ground, and you hear from the tower, "Damn it!"
I'm gonna... First off, can Picus see this happening?
If you're still in the tree that you were, you would hear a bit of commotion, but you wouldn't. You don't have line of sight on like the lower
ground.
portion where
Okay.
it is. You can kind of see like the top half to third of the tower itself.
Okay. Who was with you? Anyone?
It's just me.
Just you. Okay.
Just solo to the tower.
All right.
You can see, so I mean...
I can't see that you just got whooped up in a.
I didn't get whooped up in it. It missed.
Oh,
narrowly
it missed.
Just missed him.
Oh, the
Just
damn it was the. Got it. Okay.
was the giant.
I'm just... so it's right up next to me, and I'm just gonna look over at it and just be like, "That's rude! I was only coming to help you! You don't have to be such a bastard about it!"
You don't know me.
No,
I don't know you.
no.
So why would I trust you?
I mean, you have a fair point. But all I heard was you were yelling for help. Or
I wasn't
not
yelling
even
for
necessarily
help.
yelling for help. You were
I
just
was yelling to get these damn deer mice out of my couch.
What?
They're deer mice.
Deer mites?
Deer mice.
Deer mice. What is a deer mice? What is a deer mouse?
Hold on a second. The whole door creaks open, and you see kind of like his hunched self kind of howls out a bit, and he holds up. It's maybe about this big, a deer mouse, which is a very small little woodland creature with like really long feet, crazy tail, and he's like, "These damn things keep eating all my food. I gotta get them out of here."
Oh, dear.
Oh.
Well,
And he just kind of like tosses it out towards your feet.
do you want help?
What kind of help?
Getting rid of the deer... getting rid of the deer mice.
You dealt with them before?
I haven't, but I know somebody who could probably help. Not you.
I know.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay.
We've got a few things that could probably help.
10.
Oh. I'll give you 1 hour. You clear them out.
That might be a little far-reaching. How about you?
1.5.
1 and 3/4.
All right, fine.
2.5.
No. 2 hours.
I think that'll do it. Where are the traps that I'm going to be stepping in? Besides that one, which missed, mind you.
I gotta reset it.
Is that the only one?
Sure.
Is that the only one?
Make an insight check.
22.
You get the sense that there's between 1 and 10.
I'm gonna look at him and I'm gonna be like, tell me if I'm about to step in one. Please.
You see the steps you made on the way here.
Yeah.
Stay with those. You'll be fine.
Good point. I'm gonna turn around and walk back to the sled.
When I see him popping out of the woods, I'm gonna climb down and. What happened?
A crazy old man that lives in there. He needs help. I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
How many moth cats do we have?
Was it 7?
7?
That was
7? 8? Dozen? I don't remember.
I
Yeah,
think
Either a lot
a
of
dozen or half a dozen.
You get.
yeah, it was a dozen.
You have moth cats.
I
You have lots of
Ah.
moth cats.
we might be able to help this guy and find a home for one of our furry friends. Also, this guy's lonely. He lives by himself.
You think this guy wants a moth cat?
I don't think it would hurt to ask.
Okay.
He has issues with deer mice.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
Ear mice.
Deer mice.
Interesting.
I've never heard of him before, but apparently it's some type of vermin.
What do you know about deer mice?
Yeah. I know they're mice, and I know that they probably don't want to be out in the cold as much as he doesn't want them in their tower or in his tower. So.
Would a moth cat eat a deer mouse?
Probably, if that's the route we want to be. I can also talk to the mice and see what's going on.
let's field both options.
I think we can find a home for the mice.
Where are we gonna find a home for the mice?
Well, I think
Well,
Ikafan
all right.
might
Not the sled.
be able
Alright.
to talk to them, and maybe the mice also know of another place they could go.
All right, Doctor
Do you see that face? Not that I can see
I
a
don't
mouse,
understand that reference. But what I will say is, like, they probably... I already said the whole bit about them probably not wanting to be out in the cold as much as he doesn't want them out there. It's also one thing to serve, this group of mice an eviction notice, and then say, oh, if you don't leave, then we'll send an army of cats in to eat you, right? And all I'm saying is, like, nature works the way it does, things eat things, totally fine. But I'd almost rather not talk to them if the plan is to send the cats, because I don't want that on my conscience.
Then don't talk to him. And then I'm gonna go over to the sled and, like, I'd say maybe 2 moth cats. This is a big tower. Maybe 2.
Hold on a second.
Find the biggest, gnarliest tomboy moth cat named Mr. Wiggles.
Ikafan, are you saying that you would prefer if we'd not bring the moth cats?
I would say that if our plan is for me to talk to them, then I would prefer we not bring the moth cats. If the plan is the moth cats, then I would prefer that I never talk to them because I don't want that guilt on me.
He doesn't want to get to know them on a personal level before we send in a predator to murder them.
Bingo. That being said, I'm fine with either plan. One just has me involved a little bit more than the other, and one leaves me a lot sadder at the end of the day.
I'm fine with either. I think the moth cats are a quick solution, so we can get this done and then get back on the road.
And
We could also do nothing.
We could also do nothing, but I've already come into contact with this man.
And hit the glom.
That means nothing, unless you gave him your word.
I gave no such words besides the ones that came out of my mouth, but...
Did he look like the purveyor of some, ancient magical artifacts that he would be willing to give us in exchange for us clearing out this mice?
I mean, I
Your
could
mouse problem for him, or was he just a guy?
He looked like a sad old man who lives by himself, and it wouldn't hurt to have a companion, like
Looking
a
like a
moth
pet.
cat.
I address the rest of the group. Does the sad old man that lives by himself sound like he has magic items?
I was here in the sled with the moth cats.
I was watching the
Oh,
sled.
I'm aware. I'm just saying. He's a sad old man that lives by himself in a tower, right?
Right.
I saw
That's
some like
scream.
sparks and stuff, so I feel like he might have some magical qualities to him.
I'm saying he could have a lot of cool stuff in that tower. And by getting in there with the mice and the cats, we could probably peruse around a little
So
and see
let
what
me
he's got
get
going
this straight. You want to go into this man's tower and take his stuff?
on. No,
But
I want to provide a service for this man and understand what a fair rate to charge him is.
Ever the
Fair
business
enough.
savvy.
But yet you draw the line at let nature take its course. Fine, fair
I'm
enough.
gonna find the...
Oh no, I don't draw the line at letting nature take its course. Again, this is I go in there for a diplomatic. The mice say no, and then the cats eat them. That's like being a landlord, and that's not.
It's being a landlord. Wow.
All right, let's head over there with some moth cats and ask for a little
I'd say 2.
payment.
2 should do.
Yeah, I know. I'll watch the sled.
In my time in my lovely nest of moth cats, can I find 2 that seem to be like a mated pair, and then pick them up and bring them with me so they're like friendly, so you can have multiple moth cats?
Maybe. Also, let's
Like like two that have like kind of buddied.
Yes.
let's pump the brakes on this too. This man was very. He obviously didn't want to be bothered by even one person. So
Right.
I don't think that me bringing another 3 is going to make the situation any better.
Oh no, I was just gonna hand you the moth cats
Okay,
and be like,
2.
these 2 are happy.
So
take them.
How about you stay at a distance so that he can't see you, and then I will take the moth cats to the tower, and then we can talk about the price from there.
Counterpoint. Old people love me.
Do they? I can't
You
say
ever
I've
met an old
ever seen
person
you
that doesn't
interact
love
with
me?
one.
Have you ever met an old person that doesn't love me?
I don't think I've ever seen you interact with one.
A few
And I
like,
could be
along
telling
the
the
road,
truth,
like
I could be lying. And that's up for you to find out.
Roll an insight check.
go ahead, roll an insight check.
It's not great. It's gonna be actually. I forget. I have decent insight. 14.
Okay.
Against what?
Well, it would. Are you trying to convince him, or are you trying to deceive him? So you would have to. It would be a contested either persuasion or deception on your part. But
That's an excellent question, DM. Am I?
well, I mean, the madam at Fiad loved you. She thought you were fantastic. Wanted to strike up some business deals with the Mead. You talked to a couple of the elders when you were in Hellchell. You mostly hung out with the goats, but you know they liked you.
It's a solid 9 on my persuasion.
Yeah, you believe that he believes that.
You know what? I kind of want to see how this turns out. Let's go anyway.
Zaith,
Sure.
Zaith has
Mainly,
been
I feel like-
chatting with the moth cats.
I feel like Barrick and Icophan are like frenemies.
Oh, yeah,
sometimes.
100%.
Where I'm like, no, I'm going to protect him. But at the same time, if he gets caught in one of those traps, I am going to stand and laugh. And then I'm going to help him out.
I would also like to like take a little napkin and put some jerky and some some toys,
A
like
little-
a ball of string, and kind of tie it up and be like, "This is a gift."
Yeah, this is going with them. Yeah, you find Mr. Wiggles and T-Tail kind of snuggled up in their little like yin-yang configuration. You're like, okay, you two, time to go. And
They're bigger than that.
in Barrick's hand,
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm just going to hold him in one
yeah,
arm.
you can.
All right. Let's do this. And Barrick and Icophan can take off back towards the tower.
Okay.
I'm gonna go say bye to the 2
Or
bobcats
I'll-
first.
Yeah, I'll bring them over to Pike.
Make the rounds, give everybody a chance, be like, oh, it's just nice hanging out. Okay, so you get the Barrick, you've got the moth cats. Icophan, you are joining him.
I am.
Excellent. Picus, are you going with as well?
I'm following behind them, whether they know it or not.
Are you trying to be discreet?
No, I'm just
Okay, you're just
making sure that the moth cats get to a forever home.
okay. You arrive back at the tower, and you see this old giant pops the door open. Goes, an hour 45.
As
Took
in,
you
like,
15 minutes to walk back there and get back here. We agreed on 2 hours. The time started at the agreement.
Oh, that wasn't agreed upon at the time, started at the time of the agreement. But either way, I have a solution at hand, and I'm going to present the moth cats. You seem lonely. Barely know you, but you seem it. You have a mouse problem. I've heard it. You've said it.
Dear
These
mice.
are moth cats.
Okay.
Emphasis on cats.
Yep.
Mice. Cats. Eat mice. Cats are friendly. To you.
Can I ask you a question?
You sure can.
Do I look like an idiot?
That's a loaded question.
No, you look like an astute gentleman, and we are the exterminator professionals. We're here with these cats to clear these mice out of your home. If you'd like to keep the cats for a small fee, we can arrange that afterwards. But we're here to do business. And like you said, we have an hour 45 to do it.
Wow, thank God that Ichafan was there.
Hello, little one.
Hello.
Thanks. But also, nobody likes a kiss ass. You came here to do a job? You had an agreement.
Absolutely, I did, sir.
Come and do the job.
It seems like no one wants to work
Come and do-
anymore, but I
Look,
do.
You really just sometimes you're better off away from people, and it's gonna be what it is. It is what it is, and people are the way that they are, and animals are the way that they are. We're all animals, and it's fine. It doesn't matter.
You're
You say
absolutely correct,
you
sir.
can get the deer mice out with the moth cats.
Yes.
Great, fantastic. I love it. But we're at an hour and 40, so get to getting.
Better stop wasting time.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna be like, I'm letting them go now. But before I do, you can either keep them at the end, or we'll take them as we go.
Do I gotta feed them?
I mean, they eat the mice.
Dear mice.
I'm assuming that the mice are going to try to keep coming regardless of the cats. Yes, you have to feed them. A nominal amount. But look at how cute they are.
Eh.
We're wasting time.
I'm going to go ahead and eat the mice. And
Okay.
while they are doing their work, may we come in? To ensure that they are doing their job to your satisfaction. For you see, we are both simple businessmen.
Exterminators. Businessmen.
I suppose.
Business exterminators.
Business exterminators.
Can that be our group name now?
I suppose.
Is
Maybe one would be interested in a shot of fire mead. As
Well,
we
now
wait.
you're talking my language. Do come in.
oh.
I'm gonna.
Barrack offering up.
I have my own stash. We're good.
Okay.
Oh, I have my hive on me.
Yeah.
I carried the beehive with me.
He never leaves home without it.
So
My
let's
secret.
let's
I
go
always
inside.
have
Ooh.
these.
Inside is the main floor, the entrance area. It's cozy, but it's very cluttered. You see there's piles of papers heaped and strewn about just the table that's in what would have been a dining room. Over by the hearth, there's a big armchair, a blanket's thrown over the side of it. You can see there's a heavy pile of like pipe ash just next to it on the floor.
Just
Just there's a very distinct smell of like dried herbs, just kind of throughout the whole place. It's almost incensey, but it's not overly pungent. Fairly well lit. There's a decent chandelier up in the main portion of the room, and you can see the moth cats kind of like dart into one area and pop out of another as they chase these deer mice kind of throughout the main space and even up the stairs towards the back. You see that the staircase just kind of like is part of the interior of the tower and just kind of spirals up into the rooms and floors above.
I'm gonna. So I don't think. What was your name again? I kind of seem to remember.
Bobanor. Bobanor Threadbare. You can call me Bob.
All right, Bob. So, if I may ask, what are ye, an esteemed gentleman such as yourself, doing out here? As I'm asking, I'm going to the keg that's on my hip. Like,
pour a little. Cheers. Well, I spent most of my life living in Glam and doing some work there with the Circle before making a pilgrimage of sorts to live out here. Continue on my research and some of my findings and solutions to the Gaw problem.
okay. That sounds very interesting. Now, if I may, as somebody who has absolutely no association with anything related to the Gaw, what kind of findings did you happen to have?
It's known by some of us that there's a tear in the fabric north in Svartalheim. A lot of the Circle and some of the more well-to-do, esteemed folks in Glam decided that it was easier to put a quick fix instead of find a true solution.
Okay, and have ye found a true solution?
So, perhaps. I haven't tested it yet, but I've been working on a spell of sorts where it would knit together and mend back all of the perforations, the tears in space, not just at the source, but then therefore across the entirety of the Gaw. Almost weaving it back together.
That sounds just absolutely above my head. Explain it to me like I'm an idiot. Please.
Fair enough. If the fabric is like an actual fabric,
Yes.
like the shirts that you wear, yes. And at some point, you get a tear in it.
Yes.
It takes a little dagger out and goes and cuts a tear in your shirt.
I'm covered in fur.
Yeah, but it's like you see, what you can do is you can mend it back together, and he pulls his hand across it, and you see the fibers start to kind of like stitch themselves back together, and he repairs the cut that he just made. Now this is all fine and good for small things, little tiny fixes. But when you're dealing with something on the scale and size, You need something bigger, stronger, and more powerful. Thank you. So I began working on constructing and creating and crafting that kind of a piece of arcane literature.
And how long has that taken?
Been working on it now for almost 30 years.
I'm gonna pop out from behind.
Oh, you.
Hello.
I'm gonna be like, Jesus!
Did you say that there have been tears in the GA for 30 years?
Oh, much longer than that.
Wait a minute. Hold on. There have been tears for 30 years
Longer than that.
in the GA?
I've only been working on crafting this particular spell for 30 years. The tears have been there for centuries.
Then there's multiple tears.
Well, they've narrowed down that the source of the tears is in the northern portions of Svartalheim.
So this didn't just start fairly recently.
There's been an increase in the amount of activity that we've seen. We've known about the primary one for a long time, but it's never
We have known. Who's we?
So I was part of a circle of scholars in the arcane studies in Glam for
I pour him
a couple
another drink.
100 years. Thank you. And we've worked in collaboration with each other for a couple of centuries. Some of them much older than I, and more seasoned, so to speak. But I think their age and their standing has clouded their judgment. Unfortunately, I've tried to propose this solution to them, and they shrugged me off.
Do you know Long Haul? Tall Shadow?
My name sounds familiar. I think he's more of a runner of sorts. Hopes to ferry things to and from.
How about
Don't know him personally, though. Just heard the name.
Brunor Long Shadow? Chief Brunor Long Shadow?
No. Doesn't spark anything in my memories.
But you've heard the name Long Haul.
I mean, I study a lot of things, and I try to have a keen mind to remember. I've heard the name at some point.
So, do you have like a working draft of this spell, or have you like completed it?
No, not on the scale that it would need to be. The amount of energy that you would need to channel into or through to this type of spell would need to be immense, and I myself cannot produce that.
Question for
I'm
you.
gonna roll to see if I can have smart brain for a minute.
So, we are actually
Roll a 16.
on
That should be
a...
Not exterminators.
Wait, yes.
I've gathered as much.
What?
Exterminators don't drink like this.
What if it wasn't one person with immense power casting the spell, but several people of large amounts of power. I rolled high.
Yeah.
Casting the spell simultaneously.
That would be much easier to do. The requirements for how much we would need depends on the level of study that you would get from the what's the saying? The more, the merrier.
So, like, basically as many spellcasters as we can find of higher education.
Well, just the abundance alone would be enough to help it. If you had a way to channel everything through and have that many, you could amplify it multiple fold. But this is all, of course, based on a very simple, housewife spell.
So I have to roll again to see if it's still cool. It's still big brain time.
I'm gonna let that go. But
What? So, like, you could. I'm trying to bury. You guys smell burning rubber at this point. So, like, if you cast it onto one, like, a giant focus, like,
You
I'm
cast
gonna
it through a focus.
had Picus the diamond thingy. Can you
frost
hand me
diamonds, frost gems.
hand me a frost diamond? So something like this, but like much bigger, almost like a mountain made of this.
May I? I just want to look at it. And he takes out a small pair of bifocals. This would do. If you had a large quantity of these, or even a large piece, size of a mountain, that's funny. That could do. That could definitely do.
How serious are you about doing
Oh,
this?
big brain time's over.
I was like, if you message me.
I'm gonna be like,
I was ridiculed by my colleagues.
well, fuck your
And-
colleagues.
Left them in the city to come out here to continue working on it. How does that sound for Sirius?
Okay, so how many spellcasters would we need if we had a mountain of that rock?
Maybe a dozen?
Do you know a dozen?
I
I mean, we know several.
Of this level of...
There's one in your sled.
I mean, Zaith is a.
anybody who is capable of working with the arcane energies.
Just
The-
at
the-
all.
The,
Just
the
imagine...
the spell itself is simple, but in order to
You don't have to be
produce the
someone who's
effects,
like
you would
studied
need-
this and blah blah blah. And
I mean, the more powerful the mage is, the more effective the spell would be. But if we're talking quantity over quality, then as many as would be willing and able.
I mean,
what is the?
Barry.
You say that they want to do a sort of
from-
temporary
Yeah.
fix. What is the temporary fix that they're trying to do?
Most of them are more concerned about coordinating efforts and stymieing off the flow of whatever comes through. Less about closing it, more about just defending our spaces.
We'll lighten the beacons, defend, or let's solve it.
That's what I'm trying to get at. I'm trying to figure out.
I have so many things that I want to say, but I'm playing a dumb character.
Are you aware of any coordination right now across the land with lighting beacons in order to work together? Is that part of the temporary fix?
If it is, I have not been made aware. But I don't really talk to many people. You're the first guests I've had in 8 years. Thank you.
Well, I'm glad we were able to find you, and it also sounds like, without talking to people, we're not going to get this problem solved.
Yeah, I think we need to figure out what it is they're what the plan is having to do with lighting these beacons, and if that is anything close to what you're doing, or if not, we should come back here and coordinate with you to close.
Is there any way that we can reach you without having to come all the way back?
Do you know how to send a message?
I personally don't.
We have someone who can.
We have someone who can.
Or you can have them send me a message.
Her name is Zaith. She's out at the sled.
Okay.
I think. How are the moth cats working for your liking?
You can hear them still kind of like scurrying around upstairs, but it does sound like the scurrying has subsided a bit more than it had than it was when you had first released them.
Would you? So I know we talked earlier about if you'd like to keep them, we would charge a fee. Pardon me. I think with the education that you've given us in this brief period of time, I think that would be considered enough of payment.
Fantastic.
Would you like to keep them? They're also very soft.
Yeah, I suppose
Okay.
that they can stay.
We will. We have to go. It was a pleasure. We will be in contact about what we've been speaking about. Picus Ichafan, I think we need to go.
They probably would love to sleep in a warm bed with you.
Good to know.
Okay. They like pets. And
I'm gonna be like
behind the ears,
ushering Picus
Right.
out.
Okay. So.
Okay. Good luck with your beacon lights.
Fresh water.
Yes.
We'll be in contact. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm gonna look at Ichafan and Picus and be like, we need to get back to the sled.
Yeah.
I nod.
Alright.
Back to the sled.
Head back to the sled, following through the footsteps. As to not get caught in traps. And has anything happened at the sled while we've been gone?
Meanwhile, at the sled.
Should we take
Which-
a break? Or like half hour.
We'll give it a couple minutes. Meanwhile, at the sled, Zaith and Amrex, what are you two what are you up to while the rest of your group is off in this tower?
Just making sure sled's safe.
I was like, I'm just continuing to work on his brass cuffs with the little engraving
Okay.
tools that I got.
Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
All right.
Hey.
Arcana. 22.
Nice. They're coming along nicely.
Nice. Yeah.
You do hear some like travel along the road.
Hmm?
Emrix, you hear a familiar voice once again up in the northern parts of Jotunheim. Emrix, hi, hello. Hey, look at. You're just not even gonna look at me, are you?
It's what's his face, and I don't like him.
Oh, isn't that lion guy?
Yeah, isn't it?
You see out of the corner of your eye, Rinradir and his troop that you had passed back on
Yes.
the main bridge, heading in the same direction as you would be. He's also making his way towards the city of Glam.
Yeah, there he is.
Not pulling a big load of material like you guys are, but traveling fairly light. You see the polar bear walking, just 2 dwarves on its back this time, and another one of the large, broad-chested giant. You guys, you just taking a break? You just hanging out, taking in a little bit of sun. You gotta work on your tan.
The rest of my crew is helping some old man. We do things like that, but you wouldn't know anything about that, would you, Rune?
That's fair. That's fair. I don't. I wouldn't dare to disagree with you. Just wanted to say it's good to see you out here on the road, doing well. We've finished our excursion to deal with the mess out in the islands. So we're heading back to collect our bounty from the capital. For a job well done.
What mess in the islands is that?
Well, we were hired. There was some commotion going on out in the islands of the far reach of the Shining Sea. It's where we were headed the last time we ran into each other. And just wanted to say, it's good to see you. I wish you well.
I want to punch him in the face, but I'm trying not
Are we
to.
like? Do we walk back out as he's like?
As like he's walking away. He's got his little bit of a strut, and just continues on down the road. And you see the back end of the polar bear just shifting.
So when we get back to the sled, I'm immediately gonna start strapping back on, and just be like, "We need to get to Glam now." Picus, can you explain to Zaith everything that he told us? I blacked out for a second. Explain to Zaith while we go, because we need to go now. And as soon as everybody gets set in, I'm gonna just start high stepping. And that is 14.
All right.
I thought it was a 1 at first, and I was like, oh no, it's a 7.
Did you know that guy?
That's the one.
Wait,
Unfortunately.
isn't that the guy that we saw in,
Yes.
Your friends aren't very
No
nice.
shit.
Yeah, no. He is not very nice.
I want to You know those scenes in the movies where there's like a taxi driving around the corner and like a puddle on them? Can I do that? Can we like snow on them? Just as like a fuck you.
I would say make an athletics check at disadvantage because they are
Quite a bit away.
they're a little bit ahead of you, but they're also not pulling a massive sled full of stuff.
So they're moving. They just got
So
the
they're moving it a bit more
That's
at a pace.
still a 13.
Yeah, they're as much as you kind of like dig your hooves into the snow to get going. You're able to like get a little bit more of a pace than the earlier part of the day, but they're still able to kind of drift a little bit further and further out of your purview.
I'm gonna get up on him and just be like, "Didn't there used to be another dwarf?" That's fine. I guess we'll just keep going and get back to that douchebag later.
It's okay. I always come. I'll be. They'll be. Next time I'll have the perfect comeback for him. That's the way it always goes.
We should shave his mane off.
Why don't you like that guy?
He's a prick.
He is not a nice individual.
You have history?
Believe I do.
I'm just.
Please hold. I don't think we came up with the history, did we?
Nothing too specific,
No.
but you had
Make it up.
worked some jobs with him before,
He's just not.
with Long Haul.
Yeah, he's just not. What's the word?
I'm gonna. Barrick is gonna yell as he's pushing. Just be like, "He's a prick."
Yeah. That's a good way to say it. I don't agree with you very much, Barrick, but that is what he is.
So the old man in the tower was a wizard?
He's a wizard, Ari.
The anger on the fact that that's the same thing that popped into my head. But he was a hairy wizard.
Yes, he seemed to be solving the same problem that you all were when I ran into you. The tears in reality.
He used to run with the crew that I think we are dealing with, that we are lighting all these beacons for, and he's claiming that it's a temporary fix, and that he sort of banished himself to come out here because they ridiculed him for wanting to actually have a permanent fix. And he thinks that he's come up with it.
He was referencing. He's not referencing the same group. He has no idea.
Oh,
about
that's what
Long
I
Haul.
think.
I-
That's at least what Picus
Yeah.
thinks.
Okay.
Yeah. I just turn around
I-
forlornly at the way we came, be like, "Oh, wizard." Okay.
Aw.
Yeah. I think what he might have been saying was that these have been going on for a very long time, hundreds of years. They've gotten worse, but now they're getting to a point where they're so bad. It's almost like we knew it was a problem, but it was never bad enough to fix, and now everybody's scrambling to fix it when it's already too late. There is a group of folk who just thought, hey, you can fight whatever comes through and it'll be okay. I think there's you guys, and by proxy me, who are trying to find a permanent solution by lighting all these beacons. But the man that we were just with in the tower has been sequestered for 30 years trying to find a big spell that he could do on his own that would help seal it away for good. And the idea is that we need a big focus and a lot of spellcasters to make that one big spell the most effective that it could be.
Which is kind of what I thought we were doing by lighting the beacons, was to then have all of these people act at the same time to...
The beacons... I'm kind of yelling as I pull. We've never actually, all we've gotten is to coordinate the lighting of the beacons, and then it was never,
The coordinating of the lighting of the beacons was to have everyone at the beacons
To do what?
at the same time cast a spell.
But what spell?
We don't know yet.
I feel like maybe this group doesn't know
I
yet
think that's
either.
Oh.
Barrick, no disrespect, but you are not a great master of the arcane.
Nor are you.
Sure, but I do know how you organize a business, right? And this is
Tuned out.
not a need to know basis, but we are the muscle and the messengers, and they are the ones casting the spell. We don't need to know what the spell is unless they're evil, and this spell is something that's going to rip the fabric wider open.
Well, shit.
Which is kind of
But
how
that
this
couldn't be
started to
the case.
begin with.
That's not.
Emotional
That
damage.
could always be a possibility.
That
Do I know the-
have maybe thought about.
Yeah, so okay.
Yeah,
We're
You know
in
what?
fairness, I
we're the Jedi in Attack of the Clones, right? We're like helping.
But so is Longhaul like Emperor Palpatine, where we think he's on our side, but
But
he's
he's not?
Really, he's really Darth Sidious.
Why do you
It's-
have to? Ichabod? No.
They told
I've never met
me.
him. I don't know what's going on.
They told me that my group had to help because we were the ones that tore it open.
Did they say that we were meant to balance the powers, not?
We were told that we,
That you
In-
were the root cause of the terrors,
in
right?
stopping the people who were trying to open it, we then somehow also caused it to rip open, which never made sense to me. And then said that that's why we then had to help close it. And this guy just told me that this has been a problem for over 30 years.
Before you
Over 100
had your thing.
So now I don't trust Long Haul.
My
Oh.
question would be, so I was not trained by the night elves in Jotunheim, that I can't say.
Minishmime.
I know it's
Schmigadoon?
I want to say Snarfelheim, but I know that's wrong.
Svartalheim.
Svartalheim. So would I know of the college in Glam, like who they are, and because I'm assuming that like
Yeah, so
my university talks to their university.
you know that I'd say go ahead and make a history check.
Because then I was wondering if I knew who this Threadbare is.
Right.
Babanor.
Well, that's a nat 20
Woo!
on my
Bob
genie
for-
dice.
Bob-
And your
Short.
it tinkled. It tinkled, and then made it nat 20.
So the name
So 27.
Threadbare is nothing. But you know that there is a kind of a long-standing circle of mages that operate in Glam,
Mhm.
and they're kind of the crux of the amount of arcane knowledge
Okay.
and work is done within this circle.
I guess my question would be like if I were to like contact like my professors or mentors back and could they then like give me like a rite of passage being like listen to her, she's smart, or like tell me all your information because we're trying to help each other in the pursuit of knowledge is more of kind of where I was getting at.
I'd
Or
say-
is it more like a
You could try.
okay, or is it more of like Notre Dame versus whatever school doesn't like Notre Dame? Everyone.
Personalities vary from each person to each
Okay.
person. So you have no idea, but you can always try.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask a question. Can I vouch for long haul? I mean, is it one of those things where I know long haul's on the right side, or do I not know? I have a longer history with long haul.
You would know working
You've
with
had a
long
longer
haul.
haul.
Everybody thought Emperor Palpatine was on the good side.
No, you know he does. His heart is in the right place. He's doing the things that he needs to do because he knows that it's the right thing to do. His communication skills are trash. He's not good at subtlety, nuance, or indiscretion. He's very just... He just kind of throws things out there
So he
as whatever it is in his brain.
So then he would not be capable of Palpatining.
Definitely not.
Okay. So
He'd be more of a Dooku.
Okay. So yeah. So all right. So I'll vouch. As we're walking, I'll tell that I vouch for Long Haul, and Long Haul is capable of deception in that way. Like if Long Haul is wanting us, if this is what we need to do, then this is really what we need to do.
Okay.
It's not going to be a double cross.
And that's well and good. I frankly said it as the end of a tangential thought.
It was
I
already
said the
something.
man.
Next time you have like a thought, maybe just let it go.
I was going to say, are you
Is
an
that
external?
what you do with all of yours?
Yeah, I mean, most of the time, it makes me a lot happier.
It was already something that I had on my mind because of the fact that I never quite understood how, in stopping the opening of the GA, we caused a tear in the GA, and so then had to help close it.
Yes.
I always struggled with that information, so you saying that was just sort of playing on something that I had already
No,
thoughts about.
your gut is absolutely in the right place. I am a completely neutral party to this, besides the fact that I've been traveling with all of you. And if things aren't adding up, I don't think, especially with something this large, it is safe to let those gut feelings go. There is for sure something else and something bigger going on than we are privy to. But like I was saying, we don't get to know the spell. We don't get to know every part of the plan. It makes the plan easier to fall apart if, say, we get captured or something, right? Like have small disposable teams.
Not to discount that we may still need Babala, or whatever his name is, Bob for short.
Babador.
And in the near future, but I think we still are doing the right thing by coordinating the lighting of some of the beacons.
I wonder if once we hook up with Long Haul, we just sort of relay the information, possibly advocate for having a more permanent solution.
Definitely.
All I'm saying is that, like, a group of powerful mages standing on top of a mountain, casting a single spell using that mountain as a focus, sounds pretty cool.
Yes.
We'd also have to talk to the lady.
The lady. So I was thinking that, say, we'd have to make sure the lady was okay with that.
I mean, to be perfectly honest,
Don't say it.
do you care?
She's a force of nature, and we respect that.
So is everything else that's happening right
I
now.
don't want to piss off a lady who's a literal mountain.
I mean,
And I think she said that in a way as like we can't comprehend what she is, so it was like
Yes.
the most equivalent thing.
She's also been very kind to us.
She gave me these.
I think he's just intimidated that she's bigger than him.
I agree with you, like that.
Emotional
if
damage.
you remember correctly, I do enjoy a large woman.
Well, that's never mind. I will.
Like, don't get much bigger than a mountain. So you are saddled back up, strapped back to the sled. Without too much of the day gone behind you, making a fervent pace. As it gets into the later part of the evening, as the sun is starting to kind of settle down a little bit more, and the faint twilight starts to become a more prominent dusk, you can see around the bend this massive wall along the southern side. As you've been kind of traversing, the whole path is curved down, and you see leading up to it is this huge ice bridge with kind of towered spires on either side that leads across a gigantic moat of... It's almost like a slush water. It's so thick and kind of murky. And beyond the walls, you can see the towering mountains and spires of the city of Glam.
How far of a journey are we from there? Like,
It'll take you maybe another hour before you actually get to the actual gate. But this is as soon as the forested portion has cleared, it's just an open expanse all the way up there. So any kind of invading things or anybody approaching is going to be easily spotted from a distance.
okay.
And at this distance alone, the wall looks just huge. And every step you take closer to it, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Let's get there. I'm tired of pulling this sled. I'm going to make an athletics roll to try to pick up the
You
pace.
just want to
Yeah.
just sprint to the finish.
Nat 20.
You feel good again?
Yeah.
It was the shirt.
It was. It really is. I'm going to burn that thing.
With everything in your mind that you've gone through from the start of this trek across Jotunheim, to see the lights of the city so close, it drives in you this passion to just dig deep, and you're able to close up to the bridge in about 45 minutes.
Yes.
So we shave a few minutes off that time and just
Do it.
really pull through.
Beat the GPS, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
When you get to the bridge itself, the guards that are there, kind of checking everybody in. These are city guard. These are designated watch of the city, and you can see that this is the only way in.
Don't worry, I've got this. Guards, much like old people, love me.
These are the fancy guards.
Before Icafan can say anything, I'm still feeling real. I'm going to walk up to a guard and just be like, we have a delivery from Helchill.
Hey!
The guard kind of looks over, looks at the other guy. Papers? Wait here. As he goes to and open them up, begins to read them, hands them back. Thank you very much. Welcome to Glamrungwen. You'll find your contact inside.
I'm going to start pulling across the bridge.
And you get into the gates of the first wall. You see that another 40 feet behind that, a secondary wall and gate. This is like a channel lock almost system for letting people in and out of the city. You do see that they have to, because it's so late, they have to open the doors. Each time they'll close it behind you, walk forward, almost like an airlock. And then they open the next ones, and you enter into the actual interior of the city proper. Before you, you see a towering evergreen tree taking space up in almost like a town square-ish area. Numerous buildings from the left to the right. There's a guardhouse on either side. There's even a very clearly lit up visitor center.
Oh.
It's a one-story structure that sits just inside. The roofs are shingled in blue and gray, and there's a massive banner across the front that in giant reads Visitor Center. Visitors Bureau.
Is there like a map? Like you are here.
Yeah, kind of like a directory map.
Yeah.
But and then also kind of a bucket tray in front with smaller ones that are more like pamphlet size that you can take with you. And you can peruse that at your leisure.
I speak Giant.
I know. And as you take in the sights of the city in the evening, that's where we're going to end for tonight. Because it is late, both in-game and life. But you'll get to explore all kinds of fun things in Glam
A
next
pet
time.
shop.
Yeah.
I can't wait to roleplay as a tourist.
You've been tourists this whole time. Thank you all so much. Thank you for playing. Thank you for watching. And we will see you all next time.